It's a huge step, and it's a hard step.
United Way is invaluable to us. Their assistance that they give us.
United Way of McPherson County, we are dedicated to supporting human service organizations throughout the county. They focus on issues related to health, income stability, and education. And when you have the three building blocks together, you have the whole person, and that whole person is more likely to succeed in life. Collaborative community impact is designed to really pull volunteers together, donors together, and advocates together, not only to give the quick fix to a problem, but to really find the core, what underlying reason for the problem. We function as a fundraiser for the community. It's very powerful.
United Way funding is crucial for us. United Way funding helps us fill that gap when people do come in and say, I don't have insurance, or I can't afford my deductible.
And it's sort of like the shopping in your hometown concept. You donate your money here and the money stays here. They start seeing what's happening and then they get excited about it. They tell the story for you. Not only am I an advocate for our agencies, but the community as a whole should be advocating. We function completely on volunteerism.
They're very vital. You're very vital.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just am lost if I'm not doing something for somebody else.
Whatever you put into it is what you're going to get.
And there's a lot of time that you put into it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't spend that time doing it.
It's really nothing about United Way. It's about the agencies that we support.
Special Olympics is a platform that allows handicapped individuals to participate in sports and be accepted by the community.
Cheerleading, basketball, bowling, volleyball. We had sports club, and I ran.
This establishes a network of friendships for them.
Being with my friends. With my friends too.
Self-confidence that they can do things that they might not otherwise be able to do.
I found out I had my disability. I wouldn't participate in sports. I would just hang out at home with my parents, and now I feel like I have somewhere I can go and feel part of something.
You know, even if it's just completing an event.
100 yards behind in a 200-yard race, but they finished and they were cheered and they clapped and you saw a big smile come across those athletes' faces.
It doesn't matter how many times they've done it. It's like it's the first time every time.
These handicapped individuals enjoy life as much as everyone else. They want to just be a part of it. And definitely if there was someone who knew someone who could participate as an athlete, they need to get them out there.
The mission statement of Big Brothers Big Sisters is to match children facing adversity with carefully screened, caring volunteer mentors. One of the things a big brother or sister does for these children is they open windows into new worlds. It's hard to aspire to what you don't know about. Volunteers oftentimes don't realize the camaraderie, the relationship that develops becomes very important to them.
It's just like building a friendship. You just build trust over time, and that's what we're doing.
Well, it's grown a lot since from being awkward to just telling them anything.
One of the first things we notice when a child is matched is increased self-esteem and self-confidence.
Because then again, you have those days where there aren't so nice people out there, so it's nice to go and talk, and then they always cheer you up.
Sometimes you do go through hardships and you lose friends, and sometimes you feel alone. But with this program, you always have your little sis or your big sis, and you know you'll always have them.
We played Just Dance. We played a lot of board games. Honestly, we're not the best dancers.
The dancing, I think we're both equally bad at.
I had a big brother several years ago. He was having lunch with his little brother. He said his little brother reached down in his jeans pocket and he pulls out this piece of paper and he slid it across the table and said, "Will you autograph this for me?" And what it was a picture of his big brother at the Friday night football game. In that moment, he had a real hero.
Well, My name's Cheryl Wayland, and I'm the director of the McPherson County Council on Aging, and our goal is to provide activities and services to elderly or seniors in our county.
And I do things like tax preparations, health counseling, Medicare counseling. I call people to make sure they're up and they're okay.
Your insurance, your taxes, your food, your doctor, all that. It's gotten very complicated.
Without our services, I don't know where they'd be, honestly.
If some money's cut, that's somebody's life that is impacted. Somebody who can't get to the doctor, can't take their regular meds because they can't afford it.
I see a lot of these seniors on a day-to-day basis. You feel sad when they're sad. You're happy when something is really going well for them, you know. You don't have any enemies there, they're all friends. Well, I've heard somebody say it's for old people. And they don't feel like they're old, you know.
And it's intergenerational. Some of the seniors have the kids come in, the kids on the program, the kids get attached. You find out that an 80-year-old thinks some of the same things the something-year-old thinks. And you're not so different.
The Heart to Heart Child Advocacy Center is a fully accredited frontline organization that works with a multidisciplinary team in response to child abuse. And what the multidisciplinary group consists of is myself, the child advocate,
law enforcement, the county attorney's office, school personnel, Department of Children and Families, and then I represent the mental health part of that team. You know, certainly one of the initial things that we try to do is just to help them feel comfortable coming in and talking about it.
When they walk in the doors of the Child Advocacy Center, they see that this place was set up for these kids, for these child victims.
And then ongoing helping them to put whatever situation they're dealing with in perspective, you know, so they can become a survivor and even a thriver rather than, you know, just a victim.
Provide the resources that they need to get them to move through this and realize that they can be victorious and they can still be kids.
And you just learn to love the kids you work with. Certainly they stick with you.
A lot of times, the sexual and the physical abuse happens right there within your home. They don't know where to go for food, shelter, or anything. I can figure out what it is in the community that I can point them toward to give them the most benefit that they can get.
People don't always fully realize until later how it does affect them on a day-to-day basis.
They feel in some way it was their fault. And that's the thing they have to be able to realize. It's not their fault. It's tough though.
Circles is to help provide people living in poverty with education and social capital to help them move out of poverty and into being more stable and self-sufficient.
Poverty is so much more than just money. Besides financial, it's emotional, it's mental, it's physical, it's hidden rules. There's so many more aspects.
And then after graduation, then they have the option of becoming a circle leader. Then as a circle leader, they are matched with 2 to 3 allies or intentional friends, as we like to call them.
I'm not here to judge her. I'm not here to put my values on her. And I think that's something that allies need to know, that it's an intentional friendship.
I learned from the new and goods that we have, which is a situation where we start the meeting and everybody says their name and says something that is new and good in their life.
Just like we had tonight where the gentleman said that he got a job and he'd been looking for one for quite a while. But also to see the kids change.
The girls have concerts and they've never had anybody besides me show up to any of their school functions.
Going to her 8th grade graduation.
When she stepped out of her graduation, she just looked absolutely radiant.
You know, when they first came in, she never smiled. To see her happy was probably the most rewarding.
I couldn't imagine not having these programs because that's hope for them too.
It not only helps people in that moment, but they're able to come back and be mentors for the next groups of people who come along.
And I think if people would take time to learn about all the amazing things that our circle leaders are doing and the ways that they're improving their lives through our program, who wouldn't want to be a part of it?
McPherson Family Life Center's main goal is to strengthen families.
And so how we accomplish that goal is through parenting classes and then professional counseling services, the whole gamut of mental health needs. We also have a home visitor that reaches out to those first-time parents in the county.
What I'm trying to encourage parents to do is to be in an emotional state that will best support the development of their baby. If the parent is comfortable and not stressed, the baby will function better and learn better.
Parents will say, because of the techniques that I've been taught and been able to use in my home, I am more confident as a parent.
She checks the developmental progress of our little guy and provides tips and suggestions if needed.
And that helps them have a better relationship with their child because they're not second guessing the decisions they're making.
My mom doesn't live close by, and so having Suzanne come out, especially that first time after he came home, and she was like, okay, you guys are doing good. It was like, just affirming that, we were doing okay.
There were some misconceptions by people who really felt that parenting should not be, they shouldn't have to be taught anything, you just parent. It's totally beneficial. I'd highly recommend it for anybody.
As a whole in the country, there's a huge misconception of mental health. It's completely normal to need someone to talk to about issues that's going on in your life. Another misconception is that mental health care is expensive. At the Family Life Center as a nonprofit, it's our goal that everyone can be seen. I see people walk into our office and you can physically see on them the burden of whatever they're struggling with. They seem visibly lighter leaving the office after having the chance to talk over what's troubling them.
A lot of these cases, if they didn't come through us, might fall through the cracks.
I love them and they deserve the best, and they often fall through the holes in the system.
So I guess the benefit comes in when you're able to help them when sometimes nobody else will.